We'll hear from the Jefferson County Clerk on what you need to know before you head out there.
Plus, we are highlighting the race for Orange County Commissioner in Precinct 2. The candidates break down their top priorities as they vie for your votes.
And a major donation is shaking up a Texas Senate race in District 3. How it's leveling the playing field in terms of campaign funds. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for being here with us on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. 7 o'clock right now. Let's go ahead and get your first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber as we take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network here above the 12 News studio in Beaumont. Jeff, seeing a little sunlight peek through those clouds. How's it looking today?
It looks like another day with more temperatures up near 80 degrees for this afternoon, and we're starting off warmer this morning. Instead of 50s like we saw yesterday morning, we're in the 60s right now, upper 60s in Port Arthur, 68, 67 right now, Silsby and Orange, 66 in Beaumont and Woodville, 63 in Kirbyville, and then 64 up in Jasper. Outside, we're showing say mostly cloudy skies here in Beaumont from our 12 News studio. Roofing 911 Live Skycam network showing it's a little bit of sunshine, and then we head up to Jasper. It looks like it's kind of clouded over there, but those skies should break up a little bit as we head in towards later on this afternoon. This camera brought to you by Provalis. Our day planner shows temperatures climbing from the 60s to the 70s, and most of the day will actually be in the 70s, with highs today getting up close to 79 to about 80, 81 up and towards the lakes area. Be a bit breezy today. We'll see south winds at about 5 to 15. Looking at dry weather until we get closer to the weekend, then we'll see some scattered showers. We'll show you that in our 7-day coming up in weather.
12 News, your election headquarters, sponsored by Nature's Federal Credit Union.
And 12 News is your election headquarters, and Election Day here for the primary is here.
The polls are open now. We want to make sure you're prepared before you go out there. Derek Jones has been live at Rogers Park in Beaumont all morning with the Jefferson County Clerk. Derek, what do voters need to know?
Hey, Mark, it's here. What voters need to know is definitely to make sure to bring a photo ID so that way they're able to vote. And here to explain a little bit more about that is Roxanne Acosta-Helberg, the Jefferson County Clerk. And we're going to talk about some do's and don'ts. I know you mentioned do not post anything on social media while inside the polls.
Yes, no posting inside the voting locations, voting booths for privacy, protection of everyone's privacy. So be respectful of that. Put your phone away while you're inside. So appreciate that.
And then another thing I want to talk to you about is electioneering. Could you explain that to us a little bit?
Sure. You know, it's part of the process. Everybody wants your vote, and so they're going to, approach you with that. You're welcome to bring in your push cards. You can bring in a sample ballot that's pre-filled, writing your choices. You can bring them in. Just don't be flashing them around everywhere. And make sure you bring all your stuff back with you. But yes, you're welcome to bring them in.
Gotcha. And with parameters, when it comes down to people with bullhorns and stuff like that, is there a certain amount of feet they have to be away from the polling location?
Yes, be very, very far away. Individuals have a hard time, hearing instructions inside. Some individuals have a hard time, so we want to be respectful and, be mindful of all that.
Gotcha. What are some accommodations for voters who may not be able to go inside the polls that are available for people at the polling locations?
So every location offers curbside voting. It's just a matter of parking at our designated curbside areas, calling the phone number, and we'll dispatch someone out to you. Pretty simple process. You do have to fill out a form, but pretty simple, and we're all here to serve you, and we're ready. Polls are open. We're ready to help out, so we're in business.
All right. If people are not able to have a photo ID or a state ID, is there any other identification they can bring to vote?
Yes, you have several options. If you have your military ID, a passport, if you have your gun license, you do have several other options.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Roxanne. Mark, it's Tia.
All right, Derek, we're going to keep a close eye on things out there, and we'll check with you one more time here in the 7 o'clock hour.
For now, at 7:04, we're going to Orange County, where voters will choose their commissioner for Precinct 2. That's
right, incumbent Chris Sowell. He is running for re-election, facing his challenger, Colleen Owens. Precinct 2, it covers all of Mauriceville and Pinehurst, as well as parts of Orangefield, Vidor, and Orange. Now, it's a task that Sowell says that he's equipped to handle. He says the biggest concern that he hears from residents are the road conditions and drainage. So if re-elected, he says that he's prepared to continue the job that he started 3 years ago.
We've made some tremendous improvements, but there's still work to be done, and I don't think it's done yet, and I don't think I'm finished yet, and I don't think the community wants me to be done yet. Everybody wants to pay less in taxes. They still want their ditches dug, they want their roads rebuilt, and with the improvements that we're making throughout the county, we see a pretty bright future for some of those things.
Meanwhile, Owens says that she believes there should be more transparency with the Commissioners Court meetings and better accessibility on the county's website.
The technology in Orange, as far as making things more available for Orange County citizens, it's not very user-friendly, the website. The meetings are held in the morning when people are at work. They're not videotaped, they're not live streamed.
And she says that residents, they have also shared ideas about county beautification in addition to those concerns about drainage and street repairs. And also today, all eyes are going to be on the battle in the Texas seat for the U.S. Senate.
This is one we'll be monitoring very closely. John Cornyn is seeking a 5th term, running against Attorney General Ken Paxton and Congressman Wesley Hunt. A poll from the Texas Politics Project at UT Austin shows Paxton with a 2-point lead on Cornyn, 36 to 34%. Hunt is polling at about 26%, with none clearing 50%. It could go to a runoff in May. On the Democratic side, a recent poll finds Dallas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett with a 12-point lead on State Representative James Tallarico. The winner of this race will go on to face the Republican candidate. In another Texas Senate race, a candidate has received one of the largest contributions in any legislative primary this election cycle.
That's right. This is for District 3 State Senate. And Ayanna Aird with our sister station, she's taking a look at that race between Republicans Rhonda Ward and Trent Ashby.
A major donation is shaking up the Texas Senate District 3 race. First-time candidate Rhonda Ward received $2 million from Jim Moyer, accounting for more than 90% of her total campaign funds.
And actually has invested very heavily in his community in Fairmount, but also a lot of many conservative Republicans.
Now both candidates have more than $2 million to their campaign. These are crucial for competitiveness to help level the playing field.
State House, State Senate seat, most of the money goes for advertising. And so that means that you've got enough money that you can advertise on TV. You've got a fighting chance there.
Ward previously served 2 years as the state Republican Executive Committee woman for her Senate district. She says the seat needs a conservative who fully reflects the Republican platform.
It's a neck and neck race, and every vote counts.
State Representative Trent Ashby says former Senator Robert Nichols encouraged him to run after announcing his retirement.
Honored to have his support behind me in this race. But at the end of the day, the voters get to make the decision across the 18 counties that make up Senate District 3.
Ashby says voters want a senator who is not influenced by a single donor.
They want a state senator that is not bought and paid for, that is someone that actually will answer to the voters, someone that is responsive to the voters. And, that, of course, is a big part of why I'm running.
Ashby says if elected, his top priority will be property tax relief, including expanding homestead exemptions and reforming the appraisal process.
Someone that has voted for the largest property tax cut in American history back in 2023. I look forward to building on that next session.
Ward says her campaign is focused on property taxes, the growth of Islam in Texas, and the impact of AI data centers in East Texas.
And they're coming for our land and water and our resources in East Texas and Southeast Texas. And you're going to need a senator that is going to fight for the people of Senate District 3.
But it's for the next generation and future generations to make sure that we continue to fight for those values and those issues that really make East Texas unique and such a special place to call home.
And we're going to be live throughout the day as those results start to come into the newsroom. Join us tonight here on 12 News Plus at 7:30. That's when we're going to break down the early results. And then at 8:42 p.m., we're going to have a better look at the numbers as they come in. We also have a full election guide on 12newsnow.com. That's our website, but just text the word VOTE to 409-838-1212 and we'll send that straight to your phone. And in other news, police in Silsby, they are investigating a complaint involving the city's Animal Control Center. Michelle Ladner with the Angels to the Rescue says that the center improperly disposes of euthanized dogs in the woods and in a nearby canal. Well, Silsby Police Chief Sean Blackwell tells 12 News that the department has now launched an investigation, but says beyond that it's too early to comment any further. Now we're going to bring you the latest updates as we receive confirmed information. And right now, parents are on alert for another risky trend that's popping up on social media. ABC's Sophie Flay is explaining what you need to know.
This morning, a new warning about another dangerous challenge going viral on social media. This time, the so-called fire breathing challenge.
We are not meant to breathe fire as human beings.
Authorities in western Pennsylvania say a teenager is lucky to be alive after trying to breathe fire with isopropyl alcohol. The teen is now in the hospital intubated with serious burns.
Luckily, in this particular case, it did not burn the building down, but somebody really got hurt and is going to have life-altering injuries from this incident.
Parents are being urged to pay close attention to what their children have access to when it comes to household products.
If they're doing their hair with chemicals, if they're taking isopropyl alcohol in the room or any type of fingernail polish remover, monitor your lighters and your matches. And educate your children.
In recent weeks, we've seen multiple cases of children injured after allegedly being inspired by trends or stunts online. In New York City, a 16-year-old had to be rescued after climbing this bridge and falling 70 feet down a narrow shaft, suffering severe injuries. In Illinois, a 9-year-old suffered third-degree burns when this toy he put in the microwave burst. A 7-year-old, apparently trying to copy the same challenge, ended up in a coma. The toy company says it worked with social media companies to remove videos showing misuse of the product. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Coming up on 12 News Plus, a beaver that was rescued as a baby shares a growing bond with the woman who saved her. Meet the best friends who are on a mission, plus a famous actor who may or may not be a clone, and a milkshake that you absolutely don't want to drink. Your trending news is coming up. Your time is 7:12.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us. To the spot welders and forklift drivers. To the pipeline technicians and plant operators. To the chemists, custodians, and contractors. And the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day, keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now. Weekdays, noon. Only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Well, check this out. A baby beaver was rescued when she was only a day old, and now she hasn't just grown physically, the incredible bond with her rescuer has as well. Here's ABC's Danny New.
on this World Wildlife Day.
Bo helps people see beavers as they've never seen them before.
We are meeting a pair of best friends who have been on an educational mission together.
Oh my gosh. He's waving. She's waving at me.
Over the past 2 years, Alexis and a beaver at her animal rehabilitation facility named Bo have been picking up millions of views online.
She fit right in the palm of my hand.
As she details their journey from rescuer and rescuee to being close enough to groom each other.
I'm just using my fingers like little beaver teeth. And that's just how she builds family bonds that have, like she considers us to be a colony.
Alexis first took in Bo 2 years ago after a flash flood led to her being found abandoned near Alexis's home in upstate New York. Alexis says she and her team looked everywhere for her family.
It was a series of miracles that had to line up for her to survive.
She's healthy now, but Bo did eventually lose her eye to disease, and her immune system in general is just forever compromised. So, unlike the other beavers in Alexis's care,
Hey, Bobo.
Bo is just going to have to stay under her supervision.
I can't go in there with you.
However, she gets out plenty, and as you can see, actually communicated to Alexis that she wanted to swim together, so she had to get a wetsuit. In the summer, they now swim regularly in the pond together. Also, Bo even served as ring bearer at Alexis and her now husband's wedding.
She just waddled it on down the aisle. It was really honestly perfect.
In fact, Bo is even now a certified educational ambassador, and the two of them now travel to teach young folks about why beavers are so important to the environment and to our future.
They filter the water. They even create carbon sinks to help fight climate change, and they prevent natural disasters like wildfires and drought. It's good that Bo's here to remind people just how important they are.
And our parent company, Disney, has a movie actually about beavers coming out this week. It's called Hoppers, and Alexis was actually invited to the world premiere. Her review, she told me it gives beavers the attention they deserve, and she's not biased. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
That's a great story. Tia says that if she found a beaver out in the wild, she wouldn't do anything with it. She'd just let it be. Wouldn't care a thing about it. Doesn't like a beaver at all. So, yeah. She said, that's ridiculous, having a beaver for a pet. Anyway, here's a look up towards Jasper. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network from Provalis, and you can see mostly cloudy skies up there. We hadn't had too much fog this morning. We had some low-level clouds, a little mist and drizzle here in Beaumont for a short time. That's now kind of lifted up, and we don't have any fog out there for this morning. Temperatures right now in the 60s, 66 in Beaumont, 69 in Port Arthur, 67 in Orange. 68 in Silsby right now. Kirbyville's at 63, Jasper's at 64, and Woodville currently at about 66. Not much going on across the state. There's some clouds, but that's about it. You can see a stationary front to our north, kind of snaking through Arkansas back into North Texas. This might be the focus for some showers or a few thunderstorms later on this afternoon, but it's going to be way too far north for us to get anything from it. Now, as we head towards the weekend, we do see a front coming down and stalling out across southeast Texas. That will be the focus for a few showers or thunderstorms, and we're hoping to get maybe half an inch of rain over the weekend. We'll show you those coverages here in just a second on our 7-day. But today, just warm temperatures. We go from the 60s to the 70s about mid to late morning, and we'll stay in the 70s throughout the afternoon. Maybe hit 80 degrees for a short time during the afternoon. And even this evening, we'll stay generally into the 70s until we get towards late in the evening. Overnight, we'll go back into the 60s with mostly cloudy skies again tomorrow morning. We'll continue with a south to southeasterly wind. So our forecast for today, partly cloudy by the afternoon. We'll see south winds at 10 to 15 and temperatures from the upper 70s to the lower 80s. And then for tonight, a lot of middle 60s, kind of like what we're seeing out there this morning, generally about 63 to 66, 67. Southeasterly winds overnight at 5 to 10. 7-day forecast showing temperatures right around the 80 degree mark all the way through. Looks like through early next week. We do see a small chance of rain on Friday. We'll go 20% there of an isolated shower, and then we'll bring rain coverages up to about 40% for Saturday and Sunday at this point. And that could bring us, like I said, maybe a little bit of rain for the weekend at times. It's not going to be a washout this weekend, but there will be some times where you might run into some wet weather for an hour or two with some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms. So hopefully we'll pick up a little bit of rain this weekend, half an inch or so. But overall, it looks like just a pretty warm forecast. Our normal high this time of year right at 70. So we're going to be anywhere 10 to maybe 12 degrees above that.
I know we're still a little ways out, but you're thinking at this point it's not going to be one part of the day on Saturday or Sunday, but it's going to be scattered at this point.
It's going to be scattered throughout the day. So like I said, keep that 12 News app handy with the radar on it, and you can kind of pick your spots.
Okay. All right, thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download that app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar, just like Jeff was saying. You can go to the radar tab in the app. 7:20 right now here on 12 News Plus. We'll do a little trending news, and there's new conspiracy theories about actor Jim Carrey that have people in a frenzy online.
And the 64-year-old made a rare public appearance at an award show in Paris, but after photos of him surfaced, people said that's not him. Some are even suggesting it was a clone. Major outlets confirmed it was Carrey. The celebrities and influencers have gone public saying he's just aging. But makeup artist Alexis Stone is fueling the mystery, posting to Instagram that it was him dressed up as Carrey. Stone is known for doing uncanny celebrity transformations. USA Today says the picture was altered by AI, and Carrey's rep says he was actually there. But not everyone is buying that story.
He definitely looks different in some of those images. Some of us have speculated that might have been plastic surgery,
Yeah.
but also allegedly he doesn't do plastic surgery, so I don't know who to believe.
Guess we'll never know.
I guess so.
The Great Wolf Lodge in Webster, Texas is rolling out a new dessert for a limited time, but will you want to try this?
Probably not.
I'm not.
Yeah, the indoor water park resort is releasing the Ranch Milkshake. Ugh. And it's in celebration of National Ranch Day. That's going to be next Tuesday. National Ranch Day next Tuesday, March 10th. And this special menu item is going to be available at the Great Wolf Lodge locations from the 5th to the 20th. And what's in it, you don't even want to know. It's going to be vanilla ice cream and ranch dressing. It's going to be garnished with chicken nuggets, carrots, celery, whipped cream, and a lime rim. Maybe just one spoonful is all I could get down. Now, this sweet and tangy shake, it goes for just $3.10. They're practically giving it away here. We hope you like a little curdle in your treat.
It needs to be free.
Please drink this. Okay, I don't know what else to say about that.
It's just nasty. That's
nasty.
what you say.
Ugh. All right, well, video of a couple lounging around is going viral because of the sheer contrast in what they're doing.
Yeah, let's take a look at this masterpiece of modern romance. The man is in bed, rocking a sock with a ventilation system the size of Texas. Meanwhile, homegirl scrolling designer bags that probably cost more than his entire wardrobe. We're not sure if she added to cart, but she should probably toss in a 3-pack of Hanes crew socks for her man.
$11,000 on that bag.
Yeah.
Let's split the difference. I like that plan. I could use some new socks.
But you said that you believe he's probably the one, you know, recording that to show. Now look at my sock and look at what she
look at what she's into. How did I? He's basically out of his league, I think.
You got to get the purse somehow and go without some other things.
That's right. He's taking care of business.
No socks for him. All right, 7:22 right now. We're taking a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Jeff will be back with your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/Golden Apple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan, kind courteous, and safe.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m., keeping you informed on what matters most.
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. Don't forget that we are still giving away tickets to Moody Gardens. We're doing that every Friday for the next 3 weeks. Winners, you're going to get a family 4-pack of tickets, and then the grand prize winner on March 20th also is going to get a one-night hotel stay for 2 adults, 2 kids, and a round of golf for 2. Just go on over to 12newsnow.com/contest to enter.
At the bus stop this morning, pretty mild conditions out there, even though we have mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the middle 60s. We'll see middle 70s at recess and then warm on the way home with temperatures up around 80 degrees. Along the coast right now, southeasterly winds at 14 to 17 at Texas Point. Water temperature in the middle 60s there. Southeasterly winds at 10 to 15 knots in general through the afternoon with seas around 2 feet. Going to be a little choppy on the inland lakes and bays for today. Next high tides right before 4 o'clock, 3:55 to be exact for this afternoon. Our sunrise this morning 6:38. We already passed that, and our sunset tonight right around 6:17. Don't forget this weekend we spring ahead Saturday night into Sunday as the time changes. We go into daylight saving time.
And coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, 12 News, we're live out at the polls this morning on Election Day, and we're speaking with the Jefferson County Clerk, what you need to know before you head to vote.
Plus, we're highlighting the race for Orange County Commissioner Precinct 2. The candidates break down their top priorities as they vie for your vote.
And a local political analyst is offering his opinion on one of the hottest races in the state. Your election coverage is coming up.
Time now, 7:27. We'll have more news and weather in just a few minutes.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. It is now 7:30. We're working to confirm information about a crash at the Entergy transfer facility on Highway 347 in Nederland. It involved a train and a commercial truck. East and westbound traffic is blocked right now at Nederland Avenue, Boston Avenue, and Helena Avenue.
Yeah, Chief Miller with the Sheriff's Office confirming that the driver of the small truck was taken to the hospital. The Sheriff's Office and DPS, they're investigating this one. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
All right, let's take a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 Skycam network, looking at the skies of Beaumont. This is our view from the 12 News studio camera. Lots of clouds covering the sun, Jeff, from that view in Beaumont. Also here now in Jasper.
Yeah, mostly cloudy skies out there. That should break up a little bit and become more partly cloudy as we head towards this afternoon. We'll see a little bit of sunshine today. Temperatures a little warmer today than we were yesterday. No 50s, but a lot of 60s to deal with for early this morning. 68 right now in Silsby, 69 in Port Arthur, then 67 in Orange, Jasper, Woodville, and Beaumont, all at 66, and then 63 in Kirbyville. Here's a look up towards Jasper, where we're seeing a little bit of sunshine, but a lot of cloud cover as well. This camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And our day planner takes us up from the 60s to the 70s by late morning, and then we'll spend the afternoon in the upper 70s, maybe a few places, especially north of I-10, getting up around 80 to 82 today. So it's going to be a warm afternoon, a little breezy with south winds anywhere between 10 to 15 miles per hour. Rain chances not in the forecast today, but we do see them coming up for the weekend. We'll have your 7-day forecast in just a bit.
12 News, your election headquarters, sponsored by Nature's Federal Credit Union.
According to the Texas Tribune, a major donation is shaking up another Texas Senate race. First-time candidate Rodeo Ward received $2 million from Sabine County resident Jim Moyer, accounting for more than 90% of her total campaign funds. Ward is facing off against fellow Republican Trent Ashby for District 3. It covers several counties, including Hardin, Jasper, Liberty, Orange, and Tyler locally. Ward's donation helped level the playing field in terms of funds. She says her campaign is focused on property taxes, the growth of Islam in Texas, and the impact of AI data centers in East Texas.
And they're coming for our land and water and our resources in East Texas and Southeast Texas. And you're going to need a senator that is going to fight for the people of Senate District 3.
Meanwhile, State Representative Trent Ashby says voters want a senator who is not influenced by a single dollar.
They want a state senator that is not bought and paid for, that is someone that actually will answer to the voters, someone that is responsive to the voters.
He says if elected, his top priority will be property tax relief, including expanding homestead exemptions and reforming the appraisal process.
Well, 12 News is your election headquarters. Today is the election day for the Texas March primary, and we are highlighting more local races before you head out to the polls. In Orange County, the seat for commissioner in Precinct 2, that's up for grabs.
It covers all of Mauriceville and Pinehurst, along with parts of Orangefield, Vidor, and Orange. 12 News reporter Cameron Burchett spoke to both candidates who say the need of residents will come first if they're elected.
Well, I think I've got a proven track record.
And I want to be involved.
Two candidates are vying for the Orange County Commissioner Precinct 2 seat. Incumbent Chris Sowell says he's ready to continue the work he has already started.
Everybody wants to pay less in taxes. They still want their ditches dug. They want their roads rebuilt. And with the improvements that we're making throughout the county, we see a pretty bright future for some of those things.
For 3 years, he served the community, saying his familiarity in the job gives him the experience needed.
We've made some tremendous improvements, but there's still work to be done, and I don't think it's done yet.
And that he has come through for his community when they have needed him.
Through the floods, through the fires, through all the natural disasters that we've had, I've been here.
Also vying for the seat is Colleen Owens. She wants more government transparency in the position, starting with the Commissioner's Court meetings.
The meetings are held in the morning when people are at work. They're not videotaped. They're not live streamed.
And ease of access for technology and information.
The technology in Orange, as far as making things more available for Orange County citizens, it's such a struggle to get information.
Ultimately, both candidates just want to serve and improve the community they grew up in.
I want the voters to know it has been a tremendous honor to serve this community for 3 years.
I'm ready to hit the ground running and be familiar before I start looking at everything and seeing how things can be improved.
was Cameron Burchett reporting. Polling locations will open today, or they have already opened at 7 a.m. They'll close at 7 p.m. Be sure to get out there and make your voice heard. All right, the time right now is 7:35. 12 News is your election headquarters. Election day, it's here.
It sure is, and as you head to the polls, we want to make sure that you're prepared. That's why we got reporter Derek Jones. He's live down there at Rogers Park in Beaumont right now. He's been speaking with Jefferson County Clerk this morning. Derek, what do voters need to know?
Mike and T, I'm here live at Rogers Park with Roxanne Acosta-Helberg, the Jefferson County Clerk, who's going to be helping us understand what we need to bring to the polls. Could you tell us forms of identification we need to bring?
Yes, ID. Simplest thing to do. Been repeating that for a few weeks now. It's going really, really well. People are able to get in and out of the lines really, really quickly. And if you want to bring a sample ballot that's pre-filled, that's fine. Helps you remember who you're voting for because there's a lot of selections. So I just want to say thank you to y'all for the time that y'all committed to coming out here and covering everything that's on, the local interest. So thank y'all for that.
Okay. And then regarding college students who want to vote, is there any identification they can bring? Could they bring their student ID to vote?
They can bring a student ID, but we do have several other options that they can bring, and our poll workers are ready to help them out with any of that. They do have to be registered to vote here in the county, so if they're not registered to vote, it's a little too late for that.
Gotcha. And then regarding provisional ballots, could you explain that for viewers who may not know what that is?
So provisional ballots are an option for those individuals that may have changed an address, a name, but they're registered to vote in our county. Again, if you're not registered to vote in the county and you didn't meet the deadline of February the 2nd, typically a month prior to election go live, then it's too late. But provisionals are an option for those individuals that had minor changes in status, or if you requested a mail ballot, haven't received it yet, can't control the mail. So for those options.
Okay. And then are there any accommodations for those with disabilities or language barriers?
We have plenty of accommodations for any of those requests. And again, our poll workers are ready to help. We always are in assistance, ready to help anybody that's needing anything of that sort. And so we're here to help anybody get through the lines.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Roxanne. Polls are open from 7 to 7 p.m. Marketia.
All right, thank you for all of that great needed information, Derek.
All right, Derek.
Well, 12 News sat down with a political expert from Lamar University yesterday who says the U.S. Senate race is one of the hottest in the state. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman has more on how Paxton and Cornyn are splitting the Republican Party and, more importantly, the votes.
Paxton and Cornyn, on most issues, they're not that radically different from one another, but Paxton is more heavily identified with the more present day, or more what some would call MAGA wing of the Republican Party. And in the past, Cornyn has been willing to compromise and try to come together with some Democrats on things like immigration reform. And in the eyes of the more MAGA wing of the party, that's seen as a weakness or a bad thing.
The stage is set for some of the biggest races in the Lone Star State for the March primary election. Lamar University political science professor Dr. James Nelson says one of them is a U.S. Senate race, with Republican frontrunner incumbent Senator John Cornyn and Ken Paxton.
Cornyn's strength is his name recognition, the fact that he's been in the office. Ken Paxton, his recent personal difficulties have raised, some issues because of his ongoing or pending divorce, allegations of infidelity.
He says the Democratic candidates are also stirring up conversation.
Jasmine Crockett, her personality and her politics kind of fit with that in some ways, that she is somebody who is not, worried too much about norms or offending people with her comments. Tallarico is less well known than she is. Tallarico is somebody who is kind of more subdued and less in that vein.
He says another race that Texans have eyes on is a seat for the Texas Senate District 3, with real estate agent Rhonda Ward and Texas House of Representative Trent Ashby vying for the seat.
Ashby is somebody who is more of a political insider. He's been in the state house before, and now he's trying to get into the state senate. Rhonda Ward paints herself as kind of more of an outsider.
He believes this race appeals to Texans because of Ward's focus on water resources.
If you look at advertising that Ward's ads have hit on, that making sure that in the eyes of East Texans, we're getting the appropriate amount of the water resources is something that's likely to be contentious going forward.
That was Ebony Coleman reporting. Dr. Nelson says another race to watch will be the Senate District 4 race, which will be voted on during a special election in May. It comes after Brandon Creighton resigned back in October of 2025. We'll be live throughout the day and into the evening as those results come into our newsroom. Join us on 12 News Plus at 7:30 as we break down early results. Then at 8:42, we'll have a better look at Election Day numbers as they come in. We also have a full election guide on 12newsnow.com with more on who's running and where you can vote. Text VOTE to 409-838-1212. We'll send it to your phone. Still ahead, rodeo season is here in Southeast Texas. Meet the team Roper from Orange taking on the action at the Houston Rodeo.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
Are you at the mercy of your bladder? If leaks are keeping you from living your best life, you should know that it doesn't have to be that way. Incontinence can be treated. Don't wait to get the help you deserve. The National Association for Continence is a nonprofit organization that's helped millions get on the path to a life without leaks. Visit nafc.org now to download your free pelvic floor muscle training kit and become the boss of your bladder.
The Houston Rodeo officially kicked off yesterday in Southeast Texas. It's being represented by a Roper from Orange. 12 News reporter Danielle Espada-Palau has more on what's driving him this year.
The name is Junior Dees, a cowboy since he was just 2 years old.
I've done it my whole life. My family's done it. My mom and dad, my dad's done it. So I've always just grew up wanting to do this, and this is what I've loved to do.
This year will make his 9th Houston Rodeo, one of the most well-known events in Texas. But for competitors, just making it there is an accomplishment.
You have to rodeo all year and be in the top 30 in the world. And to be in the top 30 in the world, you got to rodeo.
For some, it's just another stop on the schedule. For Dees, this one is different. For the first time, he'll be competing as a dad.
It's going to be fun going there with him. I'm excited for it.
Making his support system just a little bigger, one that already includes his wife, Rigby Dees.
We just try to be there and, help him any way that we can, driving or as simple as cooking a meal in the trailer.
Last year, a horse fell on Dees, breaking his leg just a month before the rodeo, an injury that kept him from competing at his best. Now healthy again, he says he's ready to finish what he started.
I've come really close a lot of times. I've never got to seal the deal and win it, so it would be huge if I could go and do good there.
A win this year would mean even more with his newborn son, Zank, watching.
It's such a blessing to have Zank with us and bring him, and he gets to watch his dad live out his dream, and I hope that one day, you know, Zank wants to rodeo.
These will be competing in the Houston Rodeo from the 14th to the 16th. In Beaumont, Danielle Tuataplau, 12 News.
Starting off with some cloud cover across southeast Texas. Also a little bit of sunshine already starting to break through. Here's the view from Port Arthur. This camera brought to you by Market Basket, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And I had a little bit of drizzle mist out there in Beaumont this morning. Most of the area's just been seeing some low-level clouds. We didn't really hardly have any fog for this morning. Here's a look over towards Orange at the Horseman's Western Store there. It looks like traffic's going on pretty good through the Orange area. Pretty quiet as we look at satellite and radar. Nothing on radar. Temperatures right now in the 60s this morning instead of the 50s. So it's pretty mild out there. You can see a front stationary front kind of stretching through northern Texas back into southern Arkansas, into Mississippi and Alabama. This could be the focus for some showers and thunderstorms later on today, especially north of the front. But right now it's pretty quiet. It's way too far north for us to get any rain from it. We do see a front that does come down towards us as we head towards the weekend, and that will kick off some showers. So we got a fingers crossed we get a little bit of rain this weekend. We need some rainfall across southeast Texas, so we're hoping for that. Our futurecast takes us from the 60s to the 70s by mid to late morning, and we'll stay in the 70s through the afternoon. We're looking at upper 70s, maybe a few 80s out there for this afternoon, 80, 81, and then we'll fall back into the 70s for your evening, and then 60s again for tomorrow morning with mostly cloudy skies. So tomorrow morning, kind of like this morning, maybe a little bit of patchy fog, but generally just some low-level clouds and mild temperatures on Wednesday morning. For this afternoon, partly cloudy. We'll see south winds at 10 to 15, and temperatures generally a mix of some lower 80s and upper 70s for today. And then a lot of middle 60s for tonight with mostly cloudy skies. Southeastern winds at 5 to 10. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast, and we'll continue to see temperatures upper 70s and lower 80s all the way through the next 7 days. Rain coverage is about 20% on Friday, and then as we head towards the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at about a 40% coverage of some scattered showers there. And like I said, hopefully we pick up a little bit of measurable rainfall, half an inch to an inch, somewhere around there, adding up the totals for both days. So, let me get out of the way here. And we're looking at, like I said, some warm temperatures.
Well, as the conflict in Iran continues, the U.S. and Israel are pounding that country with bombs and missiles. Iran and its allies responding with drone and missile attacks across the region, hitting targets in at least 10 Middle Eastern countries, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. The Pentagon says that 6 U.S. service members have been killed so far in action against Iran, and the Saudi Defense Ministry has confirmed that the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia was hit by 2 suspected Iranian drones. Now, President Trump is defending his decision to launch strikes after weeks of negotiations with the Iranian regime. The president says that he acted because the U.S. was nearly under threat, but lawmakers from both parties now questioning the president's authority to move forward without Congress.
There was simply no basis to go in with this massive military campaign with the goal of regime change. And the concern here is that we have unleashed factors in the region now that we cannot control.
So what's left of Iran's government after the death of the supreme leader says that it is prepared for a long war. President Trump saying that it could last 4 to 5 weeks, but may go on longer.
Meanwhile, gas prices are climbing as tensions rise overseas between the U.S., Israel, and Iran, and drivers here in the States are seeing it impact their wallets at the pump. Oil surged Monday. Analysts warn if the conflict drags on, drivers could feel it even more. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato shows us how concerns thousands of miles away are already impacting prices here at home.
I turned in and my heart just dropped. Get right here, it's $2.69. I almost fell out the truck.
A common reaction as prices begin ticking up. Kenneth and Joyce Thomas say they're filling up now, worried the increases won't stop there.
It's ridiculous. That's why I told my husband when I heard that, I say, let's go fill up because it's going to get even worse.
Some drivers are already seeing prices inch up here at the pump, and experts say it all comes down to supply and what really happens when millions of barrels a day are suddenly at risk.
If we take about 1 million plus barrels a day off of the global market, the price goes up about 20–25%. And so the market is looking ahead to Iran's exports not being part of the market for a while.
Crude oil, the main ingredient in gasoline, is the price to watch. We use in cars, jet fuel, and diesel. About 20% of the world's supply moves through the Strait of Hormuz. Any disruption there could send prices soaring.
Iran's attacks on the oil infrastructure with Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq, Bahrain, the other countries in the Middle East that make up the majority of the 18 to 20 million barrels a day that go through the Strait of Hormuz. If we lost half of that, say 9–10% of the global supply, we would see the price of oil go up 200 to 250%.
University of Houston energy fellow Ed Hers says the bigger concern is oil moving through that critical shipping lane.
Qatar's big LNG export facility was attacked. They took it offline. That removes 15 to 20% of LNG from the global market now, instantly. The price of LNG in Europe now and natural gas has practically doubled.
For drivers already stretching their budgets, even small increases can hit hard.
Some people cannot afford this, got low income. Some people, don't have jobs, and they're living from paycheck to paycheck, and this is getting worse.
When Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather and your morning rush out. Your time now, 7:51.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now. Weekdays, noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
To the spot welders and forklift drivers. To the pipeline technicians and plant operators. To the chemists, custodians, and contractors. And the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day, keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a Power City, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Welcome back to Daybreak, 7:54 right now. It's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day.
All right, first up, we got some developing news here. There's been a crash at the Energy Transfer Facility along Twin City Highway in Nederland. It's blocking traffic right now. Now, it involves a small tanker truck and a train at that highway and Spring Road, and this happened just around 6:30 this morning. Officials say that this has shut down several cross streets here, including the intersections there at Nederland Avenue, Boston Avenue, and Helena Avenue. Drivers are urged to find alternate routes. Chief Miller with the Sheriff's Office says the driver of the small tanker was taken to the hospital to be checked out for some minor injuries. The Sheriff's Office and DPS are investigating. We'll keep you updated.
1
And police in Silsby, they are investigating a complaint involving the city's animal control center. Michelle Ladner with Angels to the Rescue says that the center improperly disposed of euthanized dogs, both in the woods and in a nearby canal. Now, Silsby Police Chief Sean Blackwell, he says that the department has launched an investigation into all this, but it's too early for him to comment any further. We'll bring you the latest updates as we get more information.
All right, it's election day. Polls have already opened, almost open for an hour now. Voters in Jefferson, Orange, Chambers, and Liberty counties can vote at any polling location in their county, while those in other local counties will need to vote at their assigned precinct location. Polls close at 7 p.m. We have a full election guide on 12newsnow.com. It includes what forms of identification you can choose from to bring with you and the big local races you'll be voting on. We'll also bring you live coverage throughout the day. We will have more at 7:30 as we break down early results. Then at 8:42, we'll have a better look at the numbers as they come in.
Temperatures should come in around 80 degrees for later on this afternoon with partly cloudy skies. We'll see 80 or 79 to 80 through most of the next 7 days. Rain stays away until about Friday. At that point, we'll see a small chance of a couple isolated showers. And then for the weekend, some scattered rain and thunderstorms. We'll go 40% for both Saturday and Sunday, and then dry on Monday.
Reasons to Smile, sponsored by Reisinger and Vols Orthodontic Specialists.
Well, students at Charlton Pollard Elementary in Beaumont, they celebrated Read Across America Day yesterday, and they had a pep rally with reading, performances, and visits from community leaders. Best of all, every student, they got their own book. ExxonMobil, they gave a $50,000 grant to the Charlton Pollard Literacy Initiative, and that helps first graders build reading skills. Very sweet. All right, share your reason to smile with us. Just text us your story and photos to 409-838-1212 so we can share what is making you smile with all of Southeast Texas.
Happy to see them doing their part to make sure kids, continue to love reading.
Absolutely. All right, and thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
We'll be back at 11.
Have a great day, everyone.